sent into harm's way and often come home with physical and psychological scars of war. Their service to the country affords veterans a special set of benefits like health care and employment services. Now there's a growing movement to create special courts for vets accused of crimes. Today, Boston Municipal Court held the first session of its new Veterans Treatment Court. It was an initiative started in December with the help of then Mayor Tom Menino. Today, his successor, Marty Walsh, joined Chief Justice Paula Carey and Suffolk DA Dan Conley to announce the court's launch.
Veterans fought for our freedom. Now it's our turn to fight for theirs.
So whether it's mental health, drug dependence, homelessness, or the intersection of all three, I've been proud to send Suffolk prosecutors to argue for treatment over incarceration for low-level nonviolent offenders.
There are only about 100 veterans courts nationwide, and Boston is the second of its kind in Massachusetts. The first opened in Dedham in 2012. WGBH News reporter Ann Mostu visited the court, showing us its unique approach to prosecution.
A steady stream of veterans whose identity we agreed to protect file into courtroom 3.
He's also really strenuously pushed himself in his treatment.
These vets are in a courtroom lined with flags from every division of the military. They're here because they've committed crimes. But instead of being sent to jail, they're getting special support.
Well, how's it going?
Excellent, Your Honor.
Tell me what you're doing.
Full-time at Bunker Hill Community College, working when I can. Snow work, kind of just staying busy. Got my son a lot more. I mean, life has really turned around. Incarceration wouldn't have done me any good.
Former Marine David Odenweller has avoided jail by appearing regularly before Judge Mary Hogan Sullivan. He's been arrested for, among other things, drug possession and operating under the influence. After serving in Okinawa and Iraq, Odenweller says he wasn't prepared for re-entry into civilian life.
I didn't seek the treatment I needed once I first got out. There's, kind of a lack of debriefing for a lot of the guys coming out of the military and, the civilian world adjustment that a lot of these guys don't receive that really, throws them for a loop, and I think I fell into that.
Odenweller was particularly haunted by one of his last assignments in the Marines.
Beginning of 2006, I was in Aberdeen, Maryland, at the Joint Personal Effects Depot. It's a place where they inventory all the deceased and wounded's personal gear before they get ready to send it home to the next of kin or to the wounded soldier themselves.
Odenweller self-medicated, his marriage fell apart, and his legal troubles escalated. Now he comes to Veterans Court, where he's put on a multifaceted support plan and given drug testing.
You meet with your probation officer at least 4 times, you meet with the judge 4 times, and you're open to developing a service plan. You can move to the next phase. Phase 2 would be initiation into treatment.
A total of 49 veterans, mostly men, have gone through the program, which works closely with the Veterans Administration.
It's much more empowering, and both the court and the VA are ending up with better outcomes. That was one reason we went into it, to work more closely with the VA.
It's an approach the state and veterans like David Odenweller hope will reduce recidivism.
I think it's a great thing. If I didn't have this, and I was just faced with, my year or so sentence in jail, then who knows what would have happened when I got out.
In Dedham, Ann Mostu, WGBH News.
My next guest presides over the Veterans Court in Dedham. Judge Mary Hogan Sullivan volunteered to run the court after attending a conference on drug courts. Welcome to Greater Boston. Welcome,
Thank
Judge.
you.
So what's the difference between the Veterans Court and a regular, civilian court?
Well, there's no difference between the two. The Veterans Treatment Court is an intensive probation and intensive supervision court. In Dedham, our court serves all of Norfolk County. It's a post-dispositional court, which means these cases have been adjudicated. And so it's a sentence that someone is sentenced to enter and complete the Veterans Treatment Court.
Okay, but some veterans obviously end up in the criminal system, so this isn't for everybody.
This is only veterans who are court-involved criminally.
But I mean, what I'm saying is some of them qualify for this system, but some of them end up going to jail, don't they?
They do.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
yes.
how do you parse that out?
Well, they're sentenced to complete the court. Some of them are on probation, what we call straight probation. Some of them have a suspended sentence, so that they know that if they violate the terms of the probation, that sentence can be imposed after a hearing. So these, the idea is to get them into treatment, make sure that they're complying with treatment, make sure that they are alcohol and drug free, and that they're moving forward. And as long as they're doing that, they're in good standing with probation.
Now, according to the Veterans Administration, there are actually fewer veterans incarcerated nationwide now than there used to be. Percent of prisoners reporting military service, right there it is, right there, according to the Justice Department. So are these courts necessary now? Is this something that if there are fewer?
Absolutely. First of all, with regard to any data coming about who is being held in custody, recently the Veterans Administration has determined that there's a serious underreporting of veterans who are actually serving. And we are now just becoming able, anyone who is incarcerated in the state system, either in the Department of Correction or in the Sheriff's Department, almost all of the sheriffs now are able to intersect with the Department of Defense to determine who actually is a veteran. A lot of them don't self-report.
Is this similar in a sense to the drug courts? We just did a piece on that a couple weeks ago. Half, or actually more than that, 80% of the people in the criminal justice system have some kind of drug offense. And a lot of the lower levels are now being treated in these drug courts. I assume you support that, too.
I do. The model for the Veterans Treatment Court is taken from the drug court model. But the Veterans Court is really a hybrid court, because the issue in the Veterans Court is not only the substance abuse, but also the mental illness. Most of the veterans, I would say all of the veterans that I've seen in the Veterans Treatment Court suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. Many of them have traumatic brain injury. Some of that that's probably underdiagnosed. So it's a hybrid court. You have to deal with the substance abuse and you have to deal with the mental illness.
All right, Judge Mary Hogan Sullivan, thanks so much for coming.
Thank you.